Would you like to meet a genius and one of the greatest geniuses of all time? Science and art were embodied in him. No one could think as far as he did. He even knocked on the doors of the Ottoman sultans to create works for Istanbul. His last words offended God and humanity by doing very little throughout his life. O Leonardo da Vinci. Born on April 15, 1452, in the town of Vinci, Italy, Leonardo had an interesting childhood. His father was a noble notary and his mother was a servant from the lower class, and therefore he was born illegitimate. According to one claim, his mother was a slave taken from the Ottoman Empire, and this was the reason for Leonardo's future interest in Turkey. We will examine this issue in the later parts of the video. He could not go to school due to the law because he was an illegitimate child. However, his libertine and alcoholic uncle loved Leonardo the most and gave him the first name. He instilled scientific thoughts and taught us to question nature and the earth. His father, who gradually began to reveal the secrets of his intelligence and noticed his drawings, settled in a famous art school in Florence with Master Andrea. The years had given priority to his fingers. Everything that came out of his hands was beautiful. Even if Leonardo had been there, the incident he experienced there would have been a turning point. A painting order was received from the Master Andrea. Leonardo, as an apprentice, would add this painting depicting the baptism of Jesus Christ to his angel drawings. When this work was completed, the most beautiful part of the painting was added by Leonardo. His master, who saw that there were angels, never picked up a brush again, saying, "Leonardo, you passed me hundreds of times." In short, the horn ear is long gone. From this moment on, Leonardo became known all over Europe. However, he was still a child. But he was an inventor and a scientist, and rich families in Italy during the Renaissance were literally lining up to take scientists and artists under their protection. Leonardo da Vinci's known areas of expertise are as follows: philosopher, astronomer, architect, engineer. Inventor, mathematician, anatomist, musician, sculptor, botanist, geologist, cartographer, writer, and painter, but he can also use both his right and left hands. He could even write with one hand while painting with the other. Moreover, what he wrote was not written in the normal way, but upside down from right to left. His writings can only be read with the help of a mirror. How extraordinary is this? Do you realize that we are faced with an intelligence, and Leonardo believed that all living things had the right to live? That's why he became a vegetarian. While everyone else was wearing leather and fur, he chose to wear linen. In fact, whenever he saw an animal in a cage, he would buy it and have it released. Above all, anatomy was very important to him, and he would secretly go to examine dead human bodies at night. His studies and drawings on human internal organs not only arouse admiration even today, but also paved the way for modern medicine. When he was banned from working on dead human bodies he also examined the bodies of dead cattle. The church of the period and most sources show him as someone who worked in difficult conditions. It is claimed that Leonardo did not like physical contact. The act of procreation and everything connected with it is so disgusting that people would soon disappear if it were not for their pleasant faces and emotional aspects. It was later analyzed by Sigmund Freud, who concluded that Leonardo was frigid. This disorder means coldness towards other individuals in a sexual sense. Based on many of his words, he said that he suffered from this disease. As it turns out, Da Vinci was not married and had no relationship with any woman. Although it was claimed that he was homosexual for a while, no evidence was produced, and the mother of all definitive knowledge is experience. In my opinion, sciences that are not born from experience are empty or full of memories. No research can be worthy of science unless it is mathematically proven. I don't know if it would surprise you to hear what else Leonardo da Vinci invented or pioneered. So let's continue. Helicopter, yes, The first helicopter design belongs to him in all its details. He did not live long enough to design it, but Skorsky, who made the modern helicopter, said that he took Leonardo da Vinci's design as an example. The diving suit that allows breathing underwater, the parachute, the first armored tank. Yes, Leonardo's tank design, which enabled the construction of today's tank, is available in full detail. He also drew the first machine gun design, the submarine design, and the first automobile design. Thus, he laid the foundation of today's automobiles. Even today, bearings, which are found in many wheeled vehicles, are Da Vinci's invention. With that first robot, a mechanical and self-moving lion was made. A human-sized knight was also designed. This self-moving knight was implemented in recent years based on Leonardo da Vinci's design, and solar-powered mechanisms are among the inventions made based on his designs after his death. He designed some vehicles that flew like birds, but he could not come to life. Some are designed for use by two people. He drew bridges, that is, movable bridges, and became an example for some of them. Moreover, realizing that epidemic diseases were caused by social unhygiene, Da Vinci designed cleaner and more beautiful cities. If today we can board planes, have cars, helicopters, collapsible bridges, even television, Da Vinci, who lived 500 years ago, has a huge share in all of this. If it weren't for him, some of the things we mentioned might never have existed or would have been invented too late. He was a popular man at nights. With his inventions, he made it possible to play many instruments without the need for musicians and organized great mechanical entertainments. There were even people who called him a magician. He was a master of music, playing and singing. He was highly skilled in listening to words. What we have mentioned are just a few of his thousands of discoveries. And don't forget, this man is 500 years old today. He lived years ago. Da Vinci invented the mitre lock in 1497. This invention is used in many areas today, including the Panama and Suez canals. He also invented the oldest known machine for coin production. He is the creator of the science of hydraulics and the inventor of the darkroom in drawing. Some of the first designs of steamships and steam engines belong to him. In addition, Leonardo da Vinci wrote a letter to build a bridge to the Golden Horn, but his offer was rejected by Sultan Bayezid. This bridge, which is 346 meters long, if it had been built, it would have taken its place in history as the longest bridge of its time. Da Vinci reported some of the works he planned to do in the early 1500s in a letter. His letter was translated into Turkish and presented to the Sultan with the title, "It is a copy of the letter sent by the infidel named Leonardo." In his letter, Leonardo talked about a few projects he planned to realize and suggested a new mill whose pump system works only with wind to draw Da Vinci water. In his letter, if requested, he proposed a new mill between the two sides of the Bosphorus. There is no information about what the second Bayezid thought about the proposals of Da Vinci, who stated that he could build a bridge that could provide transportation in Istanbul. We only know that his proposal was rejected. Thus, we missed the chance to place this great genius in Istanbul. If we had accepted his arrival, believe me, he lives in a very different world today. We would be according to some claims. Da Vinci's interest in the Ottoman Empire stems from his mother. There are claims that his mother was a slave bought from the Ottomans, and this issue is frequently mentioned in the TV series called Da Vinci Demons. Of course, there is no clear information. Unfortunately, it was not us who caught her, but the King of France. Perhaps France owes its development to Da Vinci. The king settled in France to him. He admired her greatly and came to visit her often. Now let's look at another feature of Leonardo. He is one of the greatest painters of all time, but painting seems to be a trend that remains much further behind for him. So much so that he completed only 12 to 18 of his paintings. Salvator Monti is one of them. His painting of Jesus Christ was purchased by Saudi Arabian Crown Prince Salman for $450 million. The most expensive painting ever. Salman keeps it under very special protection and only sends it to reputable exhibitions in Europe upon request, but the Salvator Mundi is such a work that many European kings later adopted the hairstyle in this painting and another important. The painting you all know is Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa was neither a queen nor a very beautiful woman. She was an ordinary wife of a merchant, and this painting was never completed. No matter how you look at it, the review of the Mona Lisa painting, which looks like it's turning to you, is still not finished. Pablo Picasso was detained because it was stolen from the museum in 1960. If we start to examine the painting of the Last Supper, which is absolutely full of incredibly deep subtexts, our days will not be enough for this. Jesus says to the apostles next to him, "One of you will betray me today and give me away." It is a depiction of the astonished people. It is actually painted on a wall, and unfortunately, it is slowly disappearing. I just want to give you a little information about the colors used. Leonardo da Vinci gave importance to blue and orange as contrast. Even today, when you watch a quality TV series or movie, pay attention to the fact that if the blue tones are intense, there is definitely an important situation in the environment and vice versa. Choosing these two colors in contrast is called ice and fire in the field of cinema. This situation, of which we can see thousands of examples in this and similar drawings, is still frequently used in visual arts today. The only Da Vinci manuscript left outside Europe in this world was purchased by Bilgis 25 years ago for $40 million and was digitally uploaded to the internet for the whole world to read. You can reach us, and this great genius, Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most important names in human history, died in his home in France on May 2, 1519, at the age of 67. When he died, he was the most respected scientist in all of Europe. It is rumored that he died in the arms of the King of France, but the king died on May 1, 1519. It is known that he was in another city on the day and could not come there in one day. In his will, he left the main part of his inheritance to his assistant Solano and the poor. He was buried in the St. Hubert Chapel. His last words were, "I offended God and humanity by doing very little throughout my life." We must know that, friends, our world has seen many scientists and many geniuses, but it has never been like Leonardo. He was a man who had no time, place, and boundaries. That great inventor was a genius.